All right, welcome to the Wednesday, April 5th, 2023 Gig Harbor Parks Commission meeting. Let's start with a roll call. My name is Ben Bernardo, Parks Commission Chair. And to my left, I have
Stace Gordon. Justin Tiernan. Les McGowan.
Jennifer Harrow.
Jeff Wilson.
awesome. And on Zoom we have
Josh
Josh
Stecker.
Josh Stecker. Introduction of new commissioner. Justin can come to us newly appointed from Mayor Barkley, and if you want to take a minute to introduce yourself and what you're doing.
Sure, thank you. So I'm Justin and I decided to volunteer for this commission because I can't give up the parks, it's where I live. And just kind of want to be a part of, stewardship of the parks and do what I can to just help make our city a great place that it already is.
I think the mayor was really impressed because you did something about gnomes during COVID.
That was you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Your reputation precedes you.
Yeah,
So,
so mayor really liked that about Justin.
so I for those who don't know, I arranged a treasure hunt with the Creative Endeavors Grant Guards Commission. And we had this little gnome statuettes in the parks all around the city and greater Gig Harbor, and gave out prizes and so forth. People that found them, and it was a lot of fun. So it's a great way to get people into the parks. So I'm always looking for creative ways to help people manage the parks. So,
I understand. I remember reading about that. I was like, genius.
yeah.
He's one of you.
You have a favorite part?
I would say Wilkinson just because it feels like my own backyard in a way. I think down there a lot, but I really love McCormick.
Yeah.
And Brandon, it's really hard to say.
I think we have a great staff that, people are all well looking, so.
Yeah.
And they're fortunate to have them come back last night, so we move along in the agenda and, what they have to say. Approval of last meeting minutes, if there's a motion to approve minutes as written, we'll look at you there. And second. All right, and a second. All in favor of approving minutes as written, right? All right, so we can. Public comment. I received none. Josh or Jen, any public comment? Nope. We'll move right along. Action item 4, discussion items. First is the parks operation overview with Jeff and Kyle. So I will go.
Yeah, I'll just, Josh and I thought it would be a good idea for you to meet them and, kind of ask some questions about parks maintenance or whatnot. So, they've both been here forever. But they are kind of 20 years each.
He's a little more.
Okay, but yeah, around 20 years each. But they've both recently been promoted to newish positions for them. So Jeff supervises the entire maintenance division out at the shop. So water, storm and roads and parks. And then Kyle is the field supervisor for the parks division. So anyway, yeah, let them talk and have questions.
So basically, I'm the public works superintendent overseeing the streets, water, storm, parks, utility billing, fleet, facilities maintenance, all of that stuff. But we just wanted to come here and kind of show up and get to know you guys a little bit. It's important for Kyle and I to have that relationship with you guys. We're kind of here stewards of the public, and we're trying to make sure that what we do out there is what the public and the park commission wants us to do. So we believe this relationship is really important to start to build that. So that's why we're here today. I oversee about 30 people in the shop operations center. And Kyle is one of our field supervisors there. He's our parks guy, and he has about 80 people on his staff. He has 3 maintenance techs and 4 labor. And then we do like an influx of summertime of about 6 to 8 seasonal employees will come on board, and we'll just kind of attack the parks and try and keep everything looking good. The one thing I do want to mention though, he doesn't do just parks. One of the things that his staff does is also street maintenance. So you go up and down Stinson Avenue or out on Morgan Boulevard, the center medians and all that stuff there, they take care of all that stuff too. So in addition to parks and the facilities, the bathrooms, they take care of all that stuff.
Yeah, I mean, we improve right away. So it's quite a bit to take care of. I think there's probably close to 100 acres of land between my department and kind of shadowing other departments who can take care of the space right away and parks. Like Jeff said, we have, three maintenance techs. They're kind of our higher tier, more skilled labor and laborers. Most of them are fairly new to the city. The laborers that we have, both of them have been there for 2 years now. They started as seasonal hires, just kind of a neat thing. I started as a seasonal hire in high school. Worked there in the city through college. But yeah, we're just here to develop a relationship with you guys and we find out kind of what what your driving is for us. And the first things that I did when I came on the parks department for the city was to go through the coastline and really kind of understand what's written for how the public wants to see our parks so you guys can and I've tried to kind of guide my own thoughts and processes on the way we run things with that as a backbone for it. So maybe you've noticed we're trying to open up parks more kind of retake areas that have gotten overgrown, bring the friendliness level up. Try to make things more open and friendly, more people are invited everything into the park space. So kind of drives try to make this team more with it. And yeah, I guess if you guys have any questions for us, over here or input, please like on.
I gotta say, just with the Wilkinson, which is my neighborhood park, I mean, just the Holly courts have been looking great. I mean, it was run over with invasives the last couple of years. And I know with Park Fish last year, we did a pretty good undercut and right now it's starting to look really nice in there.
We hope this year's be a little bit.
Yeah, amazing, really good job.
One of those unsung hero kind of thing, more everybody uses the park. Well, we've been taking care of it. And then.
Real quick, I want to recognize Luis Singer, has joined us, Vice Chair, Parks Commission. Luis, did you catch who we're gentlemen here, our guests? We have Kyle Lehman and Jeff
Olson.
Yeah, from our public works crew, supervisor and superintendent, so they're here just like kind of start building a relationship with us and.
Well, you guys do a fantastic job, and it's a pleasure being in every single one of our parks. And,
Thank you.
appreciate you and all your staff's hard work.
Yeah, and so when the Parks Commission kind of helps guide some policies or, if we're talking about standardizing anything. I know there's been some discussions about standardizing benches and donations and stuff like that,
Yeah, those
definitely affects.
Those are all. Yeah.
There really isn't a process for kind of those replacements and, as equipment needs to be removed or replaced, we don't really have guidelines to follow what we want to go. We don't have master plans for all of our parks or open spaces, so. Not that we need one for everyone, but, those questions come up and, right now we talked to Jennifer, Jeff Langholm, Public Works Director about kind of what that drive is, what we want to go, is this replacing like kind, or do we want, have special use of the people to replace these, so, yeah, those are those kind of questions that we have, and just like we just found there, and trying to really figure out.
With the new conservation properties that the city acquired, is there a plan for, just trails initially, but as far as what initially might need to happen there, or?
No, there isn't really, not that I know
Yeah, well, I've been talking to planning and community development about that a little bit, and we think that we need to rezone them to make them open. So we're looking at
This is zone residential right now? or something?
it is,
Yeah.
and we're talking about maybe even because the comprehensive plan update is going on now, that needs to be adopted next year. Maybe even doing a conservation land use or zone. for those types of properties that allow basic, maybe bathrooms, a few parking spots and trails,
Mhm.
benches, and
Okay.
that's about it. But yeah, before we can open it up, I know there's a road there, there's a bridge, probably need to have that looked at.
Right.
It's starting, but it's like, there's no railings, the railings are not great, so
Okay,
it'll be a minute
Okay.
for that one.
Yeah.
Those,
excited for that one, that was a nice acquisition from the city, that's a big piece of land, so,
yeah, but hopefully low maintenance for them.
yeah, yeah. We are natural, right?
Exactly.
Well, it makes it from there.
And then as far as like frequency with closures with, I'm the forest next door and then Crescent Creek Park, those are the only two parks kind of experience the closures from high winds.
Yeah, so Soundview Forest Park,
Soundview.
Grandview and then City Park, they have enough age trees and. 30-mile-an-hour winds is our trigger for.
Okay.
And we just go off on the areas and so it's kind of guide us and then the experiences and plans or children are gonna happen.
Well, I'm always curious from the maintenance point of view, is there any use that you're finding that we need to address? I mean, I've worked on a variety of different projects and it's usually the person that's actually doing the gardening, doing the lawn mowing, that finds the things that we actually really do need to address, whether, it's the wrong kind of use for the park or something like that. I just am kind of curious if that is the amount.
I see like special use kind of lane, I mean, it comes and goes, it's entitled, having flow to it, so like you'll have, a BMX park. When 15 years ago, when we kind of built that place, there was a lot of use of it, and now it's just kind of got the kind where so that's always kind of something that weighs on me a little bit. It's like, our kind of special use is the best, representation of the park for the public at large. I think I appreciate more open space, just kind of general use grass areas. I think that I see more people use those throughout the year. But I don't disagree that there are special uses that we have volleyball courts have been used quite a bit. So it's just kind of find that center of the best it should be. And I definitely wouldn't want to impose one. I think it should be, I mean, it's for the public and this way to figure out that. I would kind of be doing things that I would say about it. I appreciate the open space. I like the natural settings too. That's something that's kind of missing for most people that you have a smaller postage stamp law or whatever. In the streets, city woods or green or whatever.
So are you guys the guys that would install, say, historic markers and signage and
Yeah.
all that
absolutely.
good stuff?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's
On other committees for those things.
Yeah, we're.
I just got your number. And then like scenarios where the bathroom was graffitied, I don't know, a year ago or so.
Yeah.
Or, I mean. Just kind of happens, right? And it's like.
It does, it's kind of, Title II in a sense, like we'll have, periods of time where we'll have, all around town for a month or two, it's getting backed up. And you have a lot of your people going on, you go for a tour, totally fine. We have some homeless, vagrancy that goes on right now. So we have families that are being closed and admitting for that because they're either in there occupying the space or there's damage.
Yeah. Any security issues with the boat shed down there, the boathouse? Yeah.
I'm really happy to at all. Yeah, I mean, the only problem we have with Ansich is the we have down the board.
The ADA?
Yeah, those things tend to be problematic.
Oh, is that right?
Break a lot, so.
We're outside.
Outside, near marine environment.
Yeah.
So,
Well, yeah.
other than that, I like Ansich.
Yeah, as far as the Cover Canoe Kayak, so they have two lease agreements, is one for Ansich, one for Stancy, or is it all the same?
Two lease agreements.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry about that. Does one expire at some point, the one in Stancy?
I would have to look.
Okay.
I'm sure there's an
At some
expiration
point,
date,
yeah.
yeah. To look at that.
Yeah, I mean, not that it's imposing, I mean, it's in the corner of the park area, but yeah, they. Well, okay.
Yeah, and they were leasing a private one next to Ansich.
Are they?
As well.
Yeah,
Yeah, a big look.
that's a big one. Well, yeah, I mean, unless anybody else have any questions, Louise? No? Good meeting you guys. Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for coming.
I think they'll join us for a little bit for the Parks Appreciation Day discussion as well, since it's gonna be Kyle's guys who are gonna be assigned to a park.
Okay, then we'll jump right into the appreciation day plan. I believe, yeah, we want to go ahead and.
22nd, Earth Day.
Yeah, right.
So we put the signups live a couple of weeks ago, maybe 3-4 weeks. And so far I have 19 signed up for Wilkinson. 4 for Soundview and 6 for Grandview Forest. So and Kyle and I did a field trip last week to kind of see where we should have them focus. So, and then he'll tell his workers who are there kind of as the county staff. I'll float around, but we're hoping that each of you could take a little bit of a leadership role at the sites. I mean, you can just go to one site and to bounce around, but so hopefully people are available that day to help out. Okay.
Yeah, the convenience.
Yeah, which came first, Stephanie?
This is Fish Memorial, so I.
Oh, gosh. Oh, sorry. That,
It's okay.
I'm so sorry. But yeah, so would you, the rest of you, Louise, are you available on the 22nd?
And of course, relatively committed to Grandview since that's my backyard.
Okay,
So I would like to be there.
okay.
I can help out, Wilson. Were you able to reach Barb Carr?
I did reach Barb.
Okay, good.
And yeah, I'm actually a little bit worried we'll have too many people at Wilkinson. The Gig Harbor High School Interact Club has kind of been advertising that as I'm gonna make sure that they know to carpool.
I parked them all in the grass last year.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, seriously, because we had probably 20 cars deep into the grass.
Wow.
There's parking on the Bay Ridge. Really is, yeah, sure, true, sorry.
Oh.
They widened the street that way. Concert park.
Grandview, Soundview, Wilkinson, what was that for one?
That's it.
Just the-
Oh, just great, okay.
We're also advertising for
Oh, and then
Penn Met. Yeah,
they're just doing the same one?
they're just doing Tubby's Trail.
Oh, that was,
Yeah. But, and you two are neighbors to Wilkinson, right?
Yeah. If you
But-
need more than one commissioner, I can definitely go.
yeah, I'm happy to show up. Wherever.
Okay. So yeah, Louise will do Grandview. Wilkinson.
Exactly.
Les,
14-minute walk. Bill.
You don't know, it's 14 minutes along the harbor, go to Soundview.
I have to have cars up there too.
Oh, gotcha.
well, you two make sense for there as well, but then you might have too many, but I do need somebody at Soundview.
And what times? Yeah,
It's 9 to 12. Yeah, 9 to 12.
Okay.
And I'm gonna try to get some coffee and snacks and stuff for people, so maybe we can meet up here to like distribute it to somebody
Yeah.
that's gonna be there.
I was thinking
Or I
that
could give it to
You
your guys.
Yeah, guys, I'm planning on an hour really, just
Okay,
prep and get set up, so.
yeah, I'll figure that out.
You sure?
Yeah, I'll email you.
Must could run around too. That's what you did last year too, isn't it? Yeah, you did the run around of the coffee and stuff beforehand.
Okay,
So that helped.
okay.
And I'm happy to do Soundview. My only conflict is, I guess that's the same day as Slippery Stroll.
Oh, it
I
is.
volunteered for that.
Oh, what's,
So,
oh,
I think
that's later.
11 or so.
Oh.
I think it's last year.
I think.
Yeah, but I could do 9 to 11, something like that, or whatever.
Okay. Thank you. Then you just stroll,
Yeah, I could just.
it's not far.
I'll be sober then.
Sounds good.
Yeah, exactly. You'll be blind.
I think the bad part about volunteering is that stay sober.
Then I'll reach out to Doug and see if he's available. But, yeah, I'm, have to be able to go to Wilson. There's gonna be a lot of people
That's fine,
there,
yeah.
so maybe that's,
Yeah, and-
that's more.
I mean.
And a lot of
what-
kids.
what-
How do you feel about teenagers?
I've got pretty good my own. So.
Oh, okay. Not gonna be yell at them.
Bring mine.
Yeah, make sure you put your like grouchiest. Or the coolest, I don't know. What do kids like? What do they
You
need?
know, we were. Had Dan before, we got, Hilton, and then,
No, this will be all new labor.
Colin, yeah.
So, yeah, we'll be, with some of our, newer staff.
Okay.
It's a good experience. for them.
Cool.
Yeah, this will be their first experience.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah, so leaders, yeah,
Yeah.
and mine also, so,
I'm gonna give them the same field trip I gave them, say we use park and show them what we do.
Yeah.
They'll be-
yeah,
You got a pretty good idea of like kind of task at hand, mostly invasive removal.
I mean, that's
Yeah.
the reality of
Yeah.
it. We'll be something we already kind of hit all the paths with sawdust, the Randy Forest and Soundview. We brought in a bunch of bark dust or wood, sorry, sawdust to spread on the trails. So they'll do that, and then, yeah, cutting back ivy on the base of some of the trees, ivy removal, and then people feel the interest in blackberries. The Wilkinson farm will be like coming around, trees, filling bases and other. Kind of cleaning up the orchard is the main task there. So,
mhm. So yeah, should we put 3 people on Wilkinson?
And
And
then,
maybe one can switch to Soundview a
Yeah.
little bit later?
yeah, I could do that. I
Okay.
set the kids home and then go down there.
Okay,
What do you want us to do?
you'll just kind of be, like offer a little bit of leadership and, you can work with the, answer questions. Well, yeah. But help them out, see if there's anything anybody needs. We're gonna try to encourage people to bring their own tools,
Okay.
but you think maybe you could have a few extra
Well,
sets of
yeah, I mean.
whatever.
Supply like some rakes, some shovels, some wheelbarrows, some loggers, that kind of stuff, so we'll have some things.
Some, but yeah, well,
Have it up.
people and, yeah,
Bring your own gloves.
Other riggers, that kind of stuff,
yeah.
So is it mainly just invasive removal, like ivy and blackberry cleanup and just kind of picking up trash and
Yeah.
that kind of thing, or is there more that we need to be prepared to do?
No power tools.
Yeah, no power
Power
tools,
tools,
yeah, so that's it, it's just kind of trying to keep everybody within that scope and, like if they do, like, Wilson just kind of goes off and there's some people there. It might just be that they get some a little early and if people wanna, retreat to one of the other parts to add in there.
Mhm.
It's always been.
Shop all around.
Yeah,
Yeah. And I expect definitely is more people to sign up, but if we don't, maybe we could even shut down a site
yeah,
if like right now I have 4 and 6 at the 2 forest sites, so if I don't get, a few days before. I don't know, would be taking away.
oh, I'm sorry, you're the file on the website.
But yeah, we'll make that determination, but I think there'll be a lot more people asking. I'm surprised actually how many people have been asking about it before we even advertise. Or, are you doing anything for Earth Day or volunteer opportunities for the kids? Yeah,
Develop some other skills for next year, if we have this kind of interest.
yeah, that'd be great. Yeah,
Is there gonna be signage on public viewing, like, week of, or
find that.
carry for later?
banner.
One thing that's the is we have those, like the side banners, we could put those up.
Yeah, we got yeah,
Yeah,
at the site.
coming up fast.
Gonna get it.
Put them in a giant pile of sawdust and something.
Yeah, that's a great idea. And yeah, maybe we can have Scott create like a QR code. To sign up or something, maybe if there's a way to put another piece of paper.
No, but it's one by 17. It's thick on everything.
Okay,
Look at all the details and stuff like that.
So are we looking for signatures then as well at some point for some sort of affidavit waiver or something?
yes, I have some
Okay, so get volunteers.
that I've changed from last year. I'm trying to figure out. Josh might be a good person to ask, but for the kids, they're supposed to have parent or guardian if they're under 18.
Okay.
So I might send that to their leader first and say, "Can you give this?"
Oh, for
They
that
might have to have an individual one for each
high
kid.
school club.
If they're not 18. But otherwise, 18-year-olds and above can sign in.
Okay.
So, and Louise, I brought up your idea about the wildflowers and we like it. But we were totally sure on the timeline on that. Some of the stuff we saw said to plant in the fall. But we're definitely, Kyle is willing to help with that. Maybe thought kind of like some patches, kind of as test to see how well they took.
That would be great.
But I think I emailed you, like wondering if we need buy off from the, I mean, it's our property, but just people sometimes have opinions.
So I know my neighbors can be persnickety, is that the right word? But I don't think it's up to them. And this isn't, it isn't like we're, I don't know, these are flowers, right?
Yeah.
What can be objectionable to that? I just don't, I just can't imagine
Oh.
anything would be.
You'd be surprised
I
sometimes.
know.
Yeah,
They spread by speed and then. the
Yeah, if they
seeds in
start-
their lawn and things are going on. They don't-
Well,
It's my only concern, really.
so if they go not up against the fence line, but to the tree side, maybe, right? There's
Yeah.
quite a wide gap there between the trees and the fence for all the normal reasons. So there's options, right?
Yeah, that's what we were talking about. I think that
Yeah.
location would be great. So,
yeah. So we'll might try that, but maybe not on Parks Appreciation Day.
Sure, that'd be great. And we can talk about it further and I can help figure out the acquisition of seed because there are a couple grants out there.
Oh, cool. That'd be nice.
So I'm happy to work on that.
Okay, and if there is like if we just wanted to give the HOA a heads up if we're doing that or something, in case people are wondering and they.
Yeah,
Is that a bad idea?
the election for the new officers is tomorrow. So
Oh,
let them figure out who's who and then I will.
okay,
I will let you know who that is.
okay, and our timeline also. Not totally
Yeah.
sure of, so,
Yeah,
Perfect.
totally, probably.
yeah.
So,
Well, good, thank you, I appreciate that.
Sure.
Yeah, no,
And the bees and butterflies will appreciate it too.
absolutely.
Yeah, we found some cool mixes for native stuff online.
Yeah, there's some really, it's pretty and it'll come, most of it will come back, you know, the perennial piece of it will come back and we can work on adding back the annual seed in the fall, every fall or however often we need it. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
I think the idea of a couple test patches there is perfect. And then we can grow it if it's, grow it, see what I did there? We can grow it if it works and see where else is suitable.
That sounds good.
Yeah. What else? Park Tuesday.
Yeah, You are probably the most experienced person here. I don't know how long. Well, with, yeah, so I'm.
Yeah, I mean, other than that.
What do you-
nice weather and.
You just kind of work and offer.
Yeah, I
people. or-
yeah, I first welcome
Welcome
everybody, make sure they sign in.
Okay.
and then kind of direct them as I can, the first like half an hour or so, and then kind of just go in with the help.
Okay.
Kind of help focus
Yeah,
efforts. You know.
Okay.
This is a description of what needs to be done.
perfect.
And that leadership role is to say, hey, we have this set of spaces that need weeding or whatever. Who's going to go over there and who's going to go to the other side? And let's split up and, get to all of it. And people do right there. But a little leadership, but that's the level of the leadership, right? This, the forms are signed, the tools are distributed, and the people have been pointed out where they should go. And what they
Okay.
should do to get there.
I think it helps if the commissioner gets there, probably 15 to 30 minutes early to talk with the public works person to kind of get a better idea of what the project at hand is as well.
And where to send people.
Yeah. So you said your guys are showing up at the shop an hour early, and so they'll be on site probably a half an hour after that.
Yeah, probably,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is there a list for each part for what needs to be done?
I was thinking of making a site map, maybe, just part, just the aerials and, basic notes, just to kind of help guide people.
And I have everyone's emails who signed up too, if we want to send them a park specific type of message. We can do that. Or where to meet at the
Yeah.
park, like,
Or where to park.
yeah,
Yeah.
And also if I'm not aware that there's ever been any accidents or injuries, but if there was one, it would be the commissioner's responsibility to make sure that you are, Jennifer, are aware of this and, sort of an incident report if one is needed.
okay. Do you guys have first aid kits in their trucks? Okay. So, that's good. Point them to the red trucks.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You guys send in with safety vests again. That's helpful, I think, just to help recognize who the site
So, yeah.
super, whatever it is.
And
That's what we- At least initially,
Yeah.
put that on with the park commissioner or something, your guy.
Do we have uniforms or?
That's,
I'm
you'll
gonna
reflect
get
your best, yeah, I think it's best, just to help recognize you in the morning, something. Or show
he
that.
was putting in, stuff for the supplies like that.
Yeah, maybe I can
Oh, yeah, water.
week before. And have
I know we run into the water issue, like we've had, like Target donated, like, I don't know, a gallon of water and then.
Oh.
Awesome, right? You think, but then, it's like, oh, why do we put plastic in the parks?
Oh,
It's
that's
like,
a good point. Dude.
Yeah, I know.
You guys have big jugs? For like sites and
Joneses, you gotta sanitize them.
The sanitize what?
If you have like a 5 gallon, like big cooler, then they gotta be sanitized.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we don't have it, honestly. Because of that reason, we just got rid of all.
Oh, yeah.
We can have a special recycling bin.
I don't know, they're not recycling the parks. I'm just saying. Yes, you're not recycling the parks.
Is there a law? or-
No, it's just, we had a sorting issue, right, with like the public buy-in education aspect of.
Yeah.
Garbage.
Dog poop in the recycle bin,
Yeah,
sure.
so I know that's a conversation we've had multiple different times about, buy recycling bins that are just a circle where they can only fit that in there.
Yeah.
And we have some of those out there, believe it or not.
They're still full of trash too, I believe it. Yeah. Let's see, what else? Okay, can I jump back a little bit? So did you get some sort of something for design of a bridge on Cushman or something like that? Was there your involvement on Cushman? Like a design?
Phase 3, yeah, I mean, like as far as an award for the project.
Yeah.
I mean, I was the inspector for it, if we want to design,
Like part of the bridge or something over in front of the wetland?
yeah, no, it was the phase 3 section.
Okay.
so from 96 Brim Drive, and, yeah, it was, I can't remember now, it was, I think it was an AWC award. But, yeah, probably.
Like your name popped out on that one, I was.
That was a little project.
Yeah.
Got a really good contractor, and it was just a neat change from typical projects in city town.
Yeah. So do you guys have any ideas on how to get across Phase five? I don't think we're out there.
Careful.
Yeah.
Maybe the charter.
I think it should be a zip line.
Yeah, pragmatically, probably a tunnel is the best thing, but you know.
Right.
Always like the idea of like a catwalk or bridge.
Yeah. The elevation on that with the trucks, though. is like,
Yeah.
a problem, Yeah.
I need a lift on either end for people that, you know.
Yeah, the ADA lift?
Yeah. it's-
There's some
it's
sort
a
of
tunnel.
feasibility thing section just for that part, I think, happening in the next year. or two.
I don't feel like, I mean, it's such a busy road, but I mean, just at grade,
Yeah,
just flashing beacon lights like the rest of the street.
I send them up to be perched or something, have them cross there or down, but yeah, I don't even like those options. We were
Mm,
doing the phase 5 bank study. It was, yeah. That would really slow down those thoughts too. But that was-
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah.
Downtown is, you know, slow enough, for all the pedestrians that cross the road, so,
Yeah, yeah, it's true.
yeah.
Have we gone through some work with the new road that I'm doing? We haven't, have we? Okay.
Yeah, I was looking for some time for
The parade,
No, it wasn't.
No, it wasn't. No.
Yeah, it was.
No, I don't think it was, because I remember when we talked about that last year planning for it.
no, almost in September or something. It was later in the fall.
It was, because during the parade, we had to make some arrangements for all floats to be able to get across. Where the runway was gonna be.
Okay, I'm sorry, I'll go back twice. Along the Cushman Trail at Wilkinson Park in the back ring field, there is an access fence gate.
Okay,
How do we get access to the park from there?
so those access gates are for Tacoma Power, for TPUs.
Oh.
Trucks, that's where you see them on the trail, they're the TPUs. And so I don't know if it'll be to open that up to pedestrians. But that's something we probably have to like negotiate or talk to TPU.
And I don't think they'd want us doing that.
No?
But,
Okay.
I mean, maybe an opening in the gate, like, you know, the railings. But
Yeah. I was just thinking, because I mean, that feels so nice back there, and I feel like nobody uses it because I know, I did for a long time. There's a pond back there.
Which location you talking about?
Back by the benches, yeah, back by the bench, that's in, on the right side there.
backside of it where the power lines go through, yeah.
Yeah, oh, where the, like up on the hill where that gate is, yeah, I was wondering
Yeah.
why that was there, I mean, it's kind of dead ends into like a really steep drop.
Yeah, that's their access for getting to those rules.
Gotcha. And sorry, last one, how's the new building progress going?
So.
Pre-construction meeting, not this Friday, but next Friday.
Okay, I saw you guys are pouring foundation and all that.
That's not us, so out front of us, that is different.
Yeah, I saw the project.
Gotcha.
So ours is in the back behind that. You'll see it probably once it starts going up, but we have a building pad on the backside there,
Gotcha.
that, we'll be getting going now.
Yeah, really excited about that.
Yeah.
That'll be awesome.
Because I know I've been in the work for a long time. So,
Much needed.
very good on you guys.
And our building right now we're in is designed for 10 people. We're up to almost 30 in it. And we have 2 bathrooms. So it gets kind of crazy. That's not including our summer help. When they come up.
Yikes. All right, yeah, sooner the better on that one.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, anything else? Anything else for appreciate today?
I don't think so. Yeah, I'll be in touch email wise, I guess, with you all.
Okay,
So,
so it sounded like we had finalized locations then.
yeah, I've got Louise at Grandview, Les, Ben and Justin at Wilkinson and Stace at Mountview.
And I'll come down around 11. Okay. and then leave you.
Yeah, or I could do it too.
Okay.
We can-
Yeah.
Yeah, sounds good. Thank you, guys.
Yeah, thanks guys, appreciate you coming down.
Nice meeting you.
Oh, still have so that'd be awesome. Thank you. Thank you.
Have a good night.
Have a good night. Thanks for coming.
Move on to us. Unless there's anything else, no, we said we're gonna first grade today, right? Good.
I think
Yeah.
so. I mean, I'm just, I don't know what I'm doing, but if a few of us do, then we'll make it happen.
Yeah.
We'll wing it.
Parks Division update. With our park manager, Jennifer Harlow.
All right, yeah, I passed out a flyer. We are having an open house in a couple weeks for Crescent Creek Park. So we had our first CIC meeting a couple of weeks ago where our consultant went around the room, asked people what they liked about the park, what they didn't like, and kind of what's missing, what they'd like more of. So that was good to help, and we're gonna do something a little bit similar with the public. And those boards that were there, they got bored, there's a passive side and an active side. So if you like walking and looking at wildlife and native plant gardens and stuff, and the other one has more sports fields and mountain biking or basketball courts and stuff. So the idea is to have the public come and kind of, they'll be putting like little stickers on the elements that they like, and maybe hoping to see some patterns that will help develop 3 different concepts. Kind of a heavy use, pretty developed, a like low impact, and then something in the middle. That you all and the CAC and council will help shape. And then also we are having a meeting next week to kind of go over with council to go over some of the findings of our architects and engineers and hazardous materials inspectors for the Masonic Lodge to decide if they're going to look at alternate uses for that, maybe not, maybe get rid of it and bring it into the site plan, or fix it up or examine further uses. We've got an estimate for it's about 1.7 million just to bring it into code. So
Is it 1.7?
mhm. So it's got some issues, that's for sure, but letting council kind of guide that process. And then so yeah, we found some hazardous building materials, and there's some issues there, but
Well, I know that there is a big discussion amongst some of the community members about the historic value of the building as Masonic Lodge. I mean, never mind that it was the Preston Valley School,
mhm,
but it still has, some intrinsic historic value, and
mhm,
the building itself is large enough to have a group, it was designed by the Masons to have big old meetings and build a
Mhm.
group. So I think there's a lot of people that would like to see that happen with it, instead of just write it off, it doesn't have any historic value, and that's not necessarily true. It
No,
definitely does.
they were just saying the architecture doesn't qualify for a historic listing
Mhm.
based on what has been. It was so cute as a school.
Yeah.
So adorable. And yeah, so what the Masons have done to it, have taken away the eligibility for listing as like a architectural historic building.
Right.
But
How many
yeah.
of those do we have in our inventory? Is it just the Scantination, or is there multiple? Oh, do we-
The Crescent Creek
all the
picnic structures.
that we one?
Yeah.
There are others that are eligible, but we haven't had an active historic register for years,
Mm,
so,
Yeah,
there's no one to even apply to get your house on historic register and develop it. So that's part of it.
I think it goes to DRB, doesn't it currently? But they're
Probably,
creating
yeah.
that. I'm sure you're involved with the
Yeah.
historic
is it
preservation.
DRB?
No,
Oh, okay.
I don't know, but.
They're looking at creating a historic, what's it called?
Historic Preservation Commission.
Yeah. That would examine that. So, and I talked with the planners about what it would take to list it locally. There's 11 different criteria. I'm not sure which ones it meets, but ultimately it's a council decision. We're gonna,
Different structures on the historic register for the city.
and including the Austin estuary, because they found some historic or
Yeah,
in Native American artifacts, I think.
I don't
think
know.
that's-
I know there is a site there, but we don't know what was actually discovered. I mean, like on the museum site, there's some bins, and there's an archaeological report for that. I don't know what was found at Austin, and most of those archaeological reports are redacted, so you can't. Really, so, it's just. Trying to lose back, there's unfortunately objects there, so. So anyway, it's interesting idea that historic sites, historic structures. And then Shenandoah is on the city historic register, but it's also on the state. Too, so. And there's a number of structures that probably are eligible for the state historic register. If they were, and even the national register, it's actually on the national register, so. Yeah, and identifying those structures around the city was important. And most of them are in parks. Our city has a habit of purchasing historic properties with historic structures on them and then preserving them and then having, you know, a nonprofit basically building that space. So,
Yeah.
That's,
Got a pretty good track record of that.
definitely got track.
Yeah.
So, and I think it's some barns, I think it's on the city register, but certainly there'll be other.
How cool would that be to have that open during Parks Appreciation Day?
Oh, yeah,
What you ask,
yeah, I can ask him.
right?
Always finds.
Right?
Yeah, there's a bunch of agricultural equipment in there that.
All ag equipment.
Yeah, there's some, there's some painting equipment. First on site, so there was a group that did an inventory many years ago. And I ended up bringing the price and other pieces of it. So. Yeah.
I think we got an outside track a little bit.
Oh,
but
yeah.
We'll go back to see the.
No worries. Yeah, so there's a lot to consider on the Masonic Lodge. But we are also just went live with a website today, but it's kind of bare bones at the moment. But we hope to add the documents and architectural stuff as soon as possible. But council will be discussing the Masonic Lodge next week at their study session.
So you said 1.7 million to bring it up to code.
Yeah, and that's without doing anything about the siding, which is awful. And
So it's been out of code this entire time.
Yeah.
As a city park structure,
well, as any structure open. to
but
the
to
public.
open to the public, does it have to get to code?
Yeah.
But because we're leasing it to a private entity, it doesn't have to be to code?
So I guess when we bought it, from what I understand from the building official. He made them put in some exit signs and stuff like that. They'd been in the building since 1987. So we got it as it was in 2017. Yeah, the building official did make them put in some upgrades, but they're not supposed to go upstairs. They do have to go up there to get in because there's only one like block on the. So
Big harbor, you don't lock your doors.
no, I mean, they're all locked. You just can't access this. So where the kids come in for preschool down in the bottom corner, the teachers have to let themselves in at the top because it's not accessible from the down below, but it's probably not ADA accessible. And we had some flooding in there around Christmas time. The foundation is not good. And then where the masons added on, there's a big slit and water was coming in there. So it's kind of a mess. And then the way that it's built with, you walk in and there's immediately some stairs, like 4 or 5 stairs. And then you walk a little ways further and there's another 4 or 5 stairs. And the way that the angles and we can't put like a ramp there at all. So we'd have to go around the back. And the estimate doesn't even include, like, there's some stairs going up to the second floor from the outside that are super rickety. One of them has a tree growing in it. And that doesn't even include that, like, which we might have to include for fire. So.
Exit from the second story of the school, it was a giant stuff.
I know, I saw that. That would be pretty awesome, actually. A lot more fun than stairs. Yeah. So, it does include minimal, well, they have to make it the bathroom meet code, bathrooms meet code. Right now, there's only bathrooms in the basement. There would need to be bathrooms, or at least ADA accessibility for bathrooms. So that involves moving a load-bearing wall, because it's kind of got that weird, we should do a field trip there.
This sounds like a can of worms.
Yeah, but it's got like a main hallway you enter, and then there's some sort of I wonder if it's where kids hung coats and stuff, maybe. It's kind of narrow. Yeah, it's narrow, and it's definitely not ADA accessible because it's like turning radiuses and stuff, but it's a long, narrow kind of another hallway next to the hallway. But that's where the bathrooms would likely have to go, but then you need more space to move the walls. Anyway,
Well, and I'm pretty sure that the bathrooms for the school were in an addition on the backside. Because if you look at some of those little photographs, there's an addition that's long since gone.
Yeah.
I'm 95% sure those were the bathrooms for the kids.
Yeah,
Most kind of projects always, there's discovery work and there's scope creep.
Yeah.
Now this 1.7, there's 2.5.
Yeah.
For the time.
yeah,
Could've been-
yeah. So we'll have our architect, instructional engineer, and landscape architect at the meeting with the council.
That's
Thursday.
the session.
Yeah, it's Thursday. So that's available online if anyone's
It's
interested.
good.
Yeah, I mean, we also have chairs here, but it's kind of set up like this.
Yeah.
But if anyone's interested. So yeah, and we hope that you can come to the open house. If you are interested. Sorry. If you're interested in that, and there will be a survey that we are hoping to get a lot of opinions on.
Sure you will.
I'm sure we will.
So, and then just as information for the process of this,
Mhm.
so the open house is the public's opportunity to provide input on it.
Mhm.
And then there's still 2 or 3 additional CAC meetings, the
Mhm.
Citizen Advisory Commission meetings.
Mhm.
And then at that point, the consultant will build out 3 different designs.
After this open house, I think they're gonna start forming the designs and then kind of then run them by the CAC, and then we can run them by you as well.
Yeah. and then- okay,
Yeah,
okay.
and then kind of develop a preferred, tweak them based on feedback.
Yeah.
For the feedback,
And then we provide a recommendation to the council, or they just, okay.
yeah. So we would love your
So
opinions on
that's
that.
like midsummer-ish,
Yeah,
you know.
I think our next CAC is tentatively scheduled for May or June. But one thing that came to light, actually, I've had, before we started this Crescent Creek Park process, I'd had complaints about people, and you probably know from the meeting who that was. But playing pickleball at like 5:30 in the morning. And we found a culprit, but we're gonna, Kyle signed, and the police chief have signed off on this sign. So, because parks are open dawn to dusk. So, and we encourage people to quietly enjoy the park before 7 a.m.
You sent me a link about this. Is this what you sent me, the pickleball noise?
Yep. And the CNN article, a national CNN article about the noise of pickleball disturbing communities a couple weeks ago. I mean, it's,
I saw it.
yeah, it's remarkable, right? And,
Yeah.
And
The chief-
it's a thing for Metro 2 and the Penn Met main pickleball courts at Zamal, there's not as many houses around there, right? But
Right,
the Grit City Gherkin main playfield is in a neighborhood park, and the neighbors are starting to really ramp up the noise.
where is that?
It's down, it's down in South Tacoma, Barlow Park, but they're starting to really. The neighbors are going to compete in noise volume with the pickleball people, I think.
Wonderful. Yeah, the chief sent me an article about, I think it was Denver or something, where they ended up removing pickleball courts because of a neighbor complaint.
HOA was crazy up there.
Ah,
Yeah.
I think we should be okay with our phase 1B because there's not really too many, the houses are way on the other side. It's gonna be near the.
I think that's actually a good place for pickleball. And
Hope
that
so.
there's enough, there will be enough buildings and stuff that are in between trees and street, and it just, there's room for the noise to dissipate. you know,
Yeah,
so-
I'm sure they'll hear it at the school and stuff, but hopefully not too distracting.
Yeah, I remember once upon a time hearing some parents' key folk came in and petitioned the city to put pickleball courts in Shaw Park. Like, can you imagine how many complaints you get about that?
Oh, so many complaints. Yeah, wow. Yeah, I've heard they've complained about the musical instruments that the Rotary put in even, and then with the Rotary, people in the Rotary want us to put in a, I guess they've come to planning commission about a kind of a bougie dog park
Mhm.
with
Mhm.
artificial turf.
Yeah.
But they're not super big fans of it.
They want their environmental sanctuary there.
Yeah. That's kind of all I have now. We've been busy updating the leases to allow alcohol, but we're finally the Scansy one will go through on Monday. Boat Shop still wants some more changes, so we're negotiating those as time allows. But
As far as like time and locations or even like,
they want automatic lease renewals and modifying what is allowed in their in the buildings. Yeah.
it's probably not the same as Harbor Wild Watch. Like, yeah. but-
Yeah, exactly. But that's all I have for now.
Awesome.
Also, sorry, I remembered one more thing. We are still accepting names for the North Creek Salmon Heritage. That one hasn't been submitted yet. If he wants to, but we have had a few submissions of a native name or name that I can't pronounce, but is it the same as the estuary? Do you know? Yeah.
I don't know, like,
Yeah, but the Gig Harbor Land Conservation Fund submitted a name like that. So we are gonna close that April 16th. There's a form on the website for the conservation properties if anybody would like to submit it. And we are also working with I think I told you this, but Great Peninsula Conservancy to try to acquire one more 11-acre property north of the existing ones. So we're hoping to spend as little city money as possible with our partnership with them, and hopefully get some Pierce County funds to help pay for it. But the owners of it are an older couple that live out of town, and they think that conservation would be a good use for it. So
so where is that additional parcel? Is it?
it is immediately north of the phase 2 properties. So it does have the creek running through it. It's west of Burnham.
Okay.
It's about 11 acres.
What was the name you proposed for Assembly Forest way back when? Do you remember?
Let's see,
Let's see, goodness.
Mm.
That's Native American for,
we or ours, it's actually Chinook Garden,
okay.
yeah, but it's along. The farther back you go on any maps around here, you see that thing on the maps for the houses right down below there.
Oh, cool.
It's also just above where Jericho Homestead was.
Oh,
Yeah, and that North Creek area was the area, the Burnham Homestead. So we've done a ton of research just on that little section. Where the museum is and Creek and everything, because there was a large village there. But trying to identify who actually lived there and kind of what their history was and the process of land ownership and change over time. Because it was owned by about 8 different people of native descent that lived there. But then it was lost to taxes. I mean, it's a crazy land use and land ownership history prior to it being, purchased by the.
Sure.
Yeah. It is pretty important. I don't know if it has a specific name for that section, but don't think that it might.
Yes. Yeah, all right,
I'm good.
okay. There's another creek that runs down by the museum or the, that's unnamed.
Well, on the maps, it's just North Creek and South Creek,
Oh, no, it's not big.
Yeah.
Right there.
and I'm not very fancy.
Yeah.
Original,
Yeah.
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 Really on that, I mean, and basically South Creek is where it comes down behind the burger place and into a culvert and then out, so.
Yeah.
And you can see it run a little bit when it's been raining a lot. We fell up behind it, but that's,
It runs through my side yard and then
oh.
down through the fishing trail there,
Mhm.
yeah. I don't know something about maybe then, that's fine. Okay, Josh. Hi, Josh.
Hey there.
We have a city administration update with you.
Yeah, not a whole lot to report on. I just sent out an email to all of our volunteer groups just now about a volunteer recognition reception that we're doing Monday at 5. So if you can make it for that, that'd be great. That's right before our council meeting at 5:30. At that council meeting, we're going to do the Volunteer Appreciation Week proclamation and the Parks Appreciation Day proclamation. And I know, Ben, I think usually you're there for the Parks Appreciation Day one, but it sounds like you're not going to make it this year.
Obviously, okay,
Yeah, so it sounds like Louise, you might be next up if you can make it Monday at 5:30.
Sure, no problem.
Okay. All right, we'll give you the proclamation then for Parks Appreciation Day.
It'll be at the beginning of the
Yeah.
meeting.
Yeah, I don't have a whole lot more than that to report on. Yeah, I think that's about it. Any questions on what's going on that you are piquing your interest? I can answer those, but I don't know too much.
Short-term rentals.
Yeah, we're up to 17 applications, I think, at the moment. Council will get a report on that on April 13th. So we did sign a contract with a consultant who's going to track that for us and let us know what's actually operating in the city so we can make sure everyone's in compliance. I think they're ramping that contract up right now. So yeah, we're just starting out, seeing how it's going to go.
Also, would it be possible to do an OPMA training? Or some sort of, I know we've got a couple of new members and.
Yeah, do you want to do that at your next meeting? We can just do the video right here if it works for everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know some of you probably had it fairly recently, but as we clerks like to say, it never hurts to have it again.
Sounds good.
Okay, I will, I'll keep the video to show you on the next meeting then. It's only about 12-15 minutes long, so.
Oh, don't use your personal cell phone, you know. Because then you get to look at that too if something comes up.
Yeah,
Don't meet with a quorum of this group to talk about business.
That'd be great. Thanks, John. Anything else city guys like has concerning ones for that?
They're gonna send an email to those assigned parks for more instruction on what to do with them, right?
Yeah,
Good.
I can do that.
Good.
And just, yeah, we'll try to get vests for you. So look for the person with the vest and.
Yep.
Yeah,
I just wanted to add, on Josh's report that the city has made some really nice new maps that have been distributed to visitor centers and the museum and all that. So and they show all the parks on them, so it was really nicely done. Josh worked hard on that and so did Michael and some.
we did, yeah.
So yeah, we'll move on to the commissioner reports and comments, on their second. I had a chance to attend the PennMet's open house meeting for their new recreational facility, going along smoothly. The only thing that kind of popped out to me is that they're not gonna put sidewalks on the adjacent roads. Because they're like, oh, we're putting a Cushman Trail in, so we're not gonna put sidewalks around the perimeter of the property. Okay, but I was like, that's not very neighborly, but whatever. Other than that, yeah, things moving forward with their project, I think they were. Still, where are they at? Like. Was it 30, 60, 90 design? Is that the scale that they usually go?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they were at the 60. I want to say what their design is doing,
Okay, and
so.
that's usually the stage they can submit land use stuff.
Yeah, so, that's another facility coming online and, off of. This park. Features, indoor features in the Christmas Trail extension, which. Will get us all the way to the bridge, and to Tubby's is their eventual goal, they'll have a crosswalk to Tubby's. And we all kind of, well, I didn't realize that, those would be, connected. Which is what we heard a lot in the post plan was connectivity of park, so, I mean, even though it's not our park, it's connected to the trail, so. That's the only thing I got, anything else, have anything to the order? No? Thanks for being here, man, appreciate.
Oh, it looks like
Yeah.
Somebody,
Fun.
Josh, somebody in the comment or attendees.
Oh,
That's
yeah,
our
I see
hand up.
Lucinda, this one where it's hand up.
Can you,
Yes, I haven't attended before, and so I'm finding this all very, very interesting. But I had a question for Jennifer. I am on the visioning committee, but I have not been notified that about when the open house was, and I was wondering, how are you going to be advertising that open house? And also that there are people, because this park is right on the edge of the city boundaries. Are you advertising outside the city for this comment, this public comment?
good question, thank you. So this flyer literally got finished at about 4:45 today. So I only had just sent it to Josh. We're gonna put it in the mayor's newsletter. So anybody that signed up for the Gigabyte, we're gonna do a social media post. And then we're also purchasing, and Kyle is gonna help us post in like those real estate boxes at Crescent Creek Park. And then I have been keeping a list since I first met with you and that group out at the park, like my first week. I've been keeping a list of people, so I was planning to mail this out to them tomorrow, but haven't had time today. But so it's kind of hot off the presses, and since it happens to fall with the planning commission, or Parks Commission, sorry, I let them know. But I will send an email to the CAC and my interested parties list as well, and then probably Friday there'll be more notifications from city sources. But if you have other ideas, let me know. But
Okay, wonderful, good work.
Stephanie will put it up at the museum. Yeah, and we'll probably put one. I don't know if we can post them on the windows here at City Hall or whatever, but. And we definitely hope to get all the park users by putting them there. They can take one with them too, so they have that information. And then the survey is going to be really important for people to fill out as well.
And Lucinda, do you mind giving us your address real quick for the record?
Oh, 3604 121st Street Court, Northwest, Gig Harbor. So I'm up on Peacock Hill Road.
Okay, thank you. Anything else, Lucinda, you want to add, or are you good?
Good.
Okay. And I think all others in Parks Commission are good. If there's a motion to adjourn. Yeah, in a second. I'll second. All in favor? Aye. Aye.
Great.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you very much.